Good morning, y'all. It is about 6:45 a.m. I'm up because I have to go to the doctor today. I'm going to my sleep doctor. I haven't talked about my health in a while, and I figured I'd talk about this doctor because I'm going to the appointment today. And I want to show you my CPAP machine and how I get it ready to go to the doctors. So let me show you. I have to carry it in this bag every time I go. Anytime I go anywhere, I have to carry this. Like if I'm spending the night out, I carry this with me. Alright, so this is the machine. This is where I put excuse me, this is where I put my tubing. This is a heated tube. I mean, I can show you more in depth later, but this is my face mask. I usually wear a liner because this breaks my face out, like really bad. I'm actually about to change my filter before I go. These are the filters, so I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna change that real quick. This is my adapter. This is the actual machine. This is the humidifier. This is the actual machine. All machines don't have humidifiers, but it's recommended you use a humidifier because your face will be dried out, your nose will be dried out, all of that. But yeah, this is my machine. So I have like a stock of like distilled water. Let me see if I can go with it with my hand. Yep, I got it. And you put the distilled water in here, in this little reservoir thing. Put that in there. Close that up. Humidifier. And this is where my filter goes. Like I said, I'm about to change it out. There's two filters that come with it. Alright, this is the filter I change like consistently. And this one I change like every few. This is the new filter. And I put it on here. Just making sure I'm breathing in clear air and it catches any nasty air. Pretty much. You know what a filter does. Snap that on. Make sure it's on. Open that back up. And it goes in there. And boom. So I'm in the office waiting. See what they gonna say, see what they talking about. I'm tired, y'all. Only got like an hour and a half sleep. I'm just waiting for the doctor to come in and we'll see what's populating. And I got cut off about my machine because our ride came. But they check like the data and stuff on the machine because it's like a modem or whatever in there. Yeah, it's like a modem, and they can pull the data and it charts like everything I do, and it's attached to like an app on my phone, and they can chart everything. I mean, see the whole graphs or whatever, how I'm sleeping, like my apneas, like if I had obstructive apneas, hypopneas, all of that stuff. I can explain it further, maybe later on in the video. But yeah, I'm just waiting at this point, chilling. Alright. So what's up, y'all? I'm back. I have my headphones on because pretty sure it's probably gonna be hard for y'all to hear me because I have a habit. I have to have my fan on. Turtles over here making noise. because he's begging for food. Plus, you probably can hear his filter. Yeah. So, hopefully you all can hear me. But I'm back from my appointment. And what I wanted to do was kind of finish telling you all about my machine, firstly. Give you all some backstory about me and how I came to be, I guess, diagnosed with sleep apnea, because I don't think I've ever actually talked about it. And I haven't talked anything about my health lately. And I want to talk about it simply because I had that appointment today. And plus, I also wanted to kind of, I guess, I don't know if it's a rant now because I feel a little bit more calmer. Nothing changed. I just feel calmer. But I'm going to just say rant / talk about my appointment today. Nothing major happened. It's just whatever. So I'm going to talk about that. Excuse my voice. And I want to show you how I set my machine back up, because obviously I had to take my machine to my appointment and now I don't need it. So show you how I do the whole setup or whatever. How it's typically just, sitting or whatever. So with that being said, welcome to the temple. Welcome to the dungeon, or as normal people like to call it, welcome to my bedroom. If you see junk, if you see whatever, it is what it is. It bees that way sometimes. Alright? So let's get to it. Sorry, it's a little shaky. My arm was tired, so I had to, whatever. Neither here nor there. Anyway, apologize for the lighting. I keep it real dark in here. I keep it real mellow. The only light I ever have in here is the light that you see. That's the light from the turtle you see. And any light you see over here is my salt lamp. Can you see? Yeah. I like to keep it dark. I'm not for all the bright lights. Anyway, it's not the point. That's not the moral of the story. Alright, moral of the story is, alright, let me give you some backstory and then I'll come up to my appointment today. Hopefully I don't bore you, but I just wanted to kind of talk, kind of share today. But anyway, so about a year ago, I found out I had sleep apnea. How I found out is I was waking up in the middle of the night, gasping for air, pretty much. I'll wake up and I could not breathe. Found out I was not breathing. So, excuse me, I don't know what's going on here today. So I had a sleep study, had a couple sleep studies, found out I had sleep apnea, got a CPAP machine. I've been on it ever since then. Still wasn't really sleeping well. The apnea's improved, but I still was just feeling really just like I wasn't getting sleep. Real bad insomnia, all of this stuff. Now granted, I have other health issues that cause fatigue and stuff like that, so it influences all of that anyway. But if you have sleep apnea and you're on CPAP therapy, some of that should be helping you. Anyway, so 6 weeks ago, went to my sleep doc. We talked or whatever, looked at my data. Like I told you earlier, there's a modem in the machine. They looked at the data, whatever, talked, whatever. And decided to put me on sleep medicine so that I can get some sleep, so that my circadian clock, I don't know how much you all know about a circadian clock, but it's pretty much our, for lack of better wording, like our kind of biological clock, but not that one. It's the one that keeps us on a regular sleep time, and I'm not on that. I'm not on a regular sleep time, like at all. Like, I'm just not. So when everybody else is asleep, I'm awake. When everybody else is awake, I'm asleep. So I'm trying to get out of that. I don't enjoy that. Like, I want to be awake when everybody else is awake, and whatever. So I'm in the process of trying to get back on the circadian getting my circadian clock back in order. So we discussed that I take sleep medication now. I'm on Ambien. That's what I take for sleep. And I take melatonin as well. So I take 2 sleep aids. But melatonin is natural. So anyway, in addition to discussing that, we talked about sleep paralysis. So that's what my mini rant is about. It's about sleep paralysis. Okay, if you don't know what sleep paralysis is, in brief, it's like you're somewhere, I call it kind of in limbo. You're either in a process of waking up or you're falling asleep. It's like you're somewhere in between, half sleep, half awake, and you cannot move. You're just numb. You're paralyzed. Which essentially, when you're asleep, you're paralyzed anyway. But for some people, they're awake. I happen to be one of those people. You're like in this limbo state where you're half asleep, half awake, and you cannot move. With some people, they hallucinate. They see figures. They're usually dark figures. Some people see people on their chests. Some people have figures like in a corner of their room. Some people have figures just, it could be anywhere. They're dark figures. And those dark figures are stopping them from moving, getting up, doing anything. And it's some realistic ass shit. It's some scary ass shit. So, obviously I cursed. So, disclaimer. I'm probably going to curse here. Too late now. I already did it. But anyway. So you see these figures. You can't move. All you can do is like move your eyes around. And sometimes you're actually awake. Sometimes you're asleep. Like, it's like you can't, sometimes your eyes are open, sometimes they're closed. That's basically what I'm saying. And you see these dark figures, you basically hallucinate. And they say it's only for some seconds or whatever, but in that moment it feels like forever, and you cannot move, you can't verbalize, you can't do anything. All you know is you're trying to get out of this situation. But when you're in that situation, it's like you're screaming, but in real life you're not. You're not doing anything, you're not screaming, you're not moving, you're not doing anything. And then it comes to real life, and you may actually you may then verbalize, you may then move. For me, I know I'll wake up screaming, I'll wake up moving. So for me, recently, having sleep paralysis, I woke up screaming. Well, every time I wake up screaming. But this time, recently, I woke up moving, and I hit my damn arm. So, yeah. So, with that being said, I told the doctor about that the last time. He decided to focus more on just trying to get my mind right. Get my circadian clock right for me to sleep. Okay, one thing they always tell you with sleep paralysis, try to get some sleep. Try not to be stressed out. That'll help you. Which brings me to today. Alright. Alright. So, I've been on Ambien for 6 weeks now. One day within these 6 weeks, I ran out of my prescription. Alright. It is what it is. So one night I didn't have Ambien. I experienced sleep paralysis 3 separate times. The first time, a dark figure sitting right beside me. I'm yelling, screaming, all of this stuff. I know this wasn't out loud. They eventually disappeared. Then the room was filled with like the black, like misty, smoky, whatever. And yeah, and I'm screaming, yelling, whatever. And eventually when I woke up, I was yelling, let me go. And I was swinging my arms around, and I hit my wrist on the side of my bed, which is metal. Not fun. Whatever. So it took me a long time to finally fall back to sleep, because every time I felt myself falling back to sleep, I would wake myself up. Is that or is that not stress? That's stress. And I can't sleep. Whatever. So, when I finally did fall back to sleep, the next occurrence was, it felt like some kind of animal or whatever was just like rubbing on me. Just like, But I was able to pull myself out of that enough, I guess, because I was aware, like, oh shit, it's about to happen again, or whatever. So I pulled myself out of that before it got too far. The third time it happened, somebody was like pushing on my face, but they weren't pushing on the front, they were pushing on the side, they were like pushing on my face, and I was like, oh no, bitch. And I was able to pull myself out of that too. But that one took a little bit longer for me to pull out of, because they were pushing on my damn face. So sometimes it's like you just feel something, and then other times you see stuff. So, yeah. So I told my doctor today about this occurrence. I'm like, the next day, I got my prescription filled. Hasn't happened since. He proceeds to tell me, oh, it's normal. What that is your REM sleep, blah, blah, blah. All right, that's all fine and good, sir. I don't need you to really explain it to me. I need you to tell me what you want to do about it. And that's the problem with doctors. I know I didn't move this camera all around. I'm using my little selfie stick because my arm was tired. But anyway, that's all fine and good. You tell me these things, man. But, like, psychologically, that could fuck with you after a while. You're hallucinating and you don't know, like, what's real and what's not. And I don't know, who else is going to see this, who else has experienced sleep paralysis and all of that. But it's some fucked up shit. It's some scary shit when you don't know what's real and what's not. And I'm sorry, I keep scratching my nose. I'll explain that to you in a second. I'm not on that stuff. I'm not. I promise you. But anyway, yeah. So it's like I worry about the psychological effects of that shit. I already got some shit wrong with me. Let me not say that. But I already experienced like anxiety and shit like that anyway. So I worry about the psychological effects of me hallucinating and some shit. Now granted, after the fact, I'm like, alright, I know that shit wasn't real, or that was some sleep paralysis stuff. But at that moment in time, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's like real and it's like scary. And it's like, I don't care how many horror movies you watch, it does not compare to the real shit just standing right in front of you. I'm sorry, it just does not. So, I don't know. I guess that's really all I had to say for real. I just wanted to, I guess, kind of verbalize it or something. But if anybody does come across this and they see this, I mean, what's your experience with sleep paralysis? Have you experienced this before? I feel like I actually experienced this when I was younger, and I just had no idea what it was. I don't remember necessarily the dark figures, but I remember waking up and not being able to move and screaming. So, yeah, I don't know. I think I maybe had a stressful life or something. I don't know. But anyway, like stress that I don't even remember or something. I don't know. But I guess I just wanted to say that. And I know I'm not going to be on sleep medication the rest of my life to control my neurons and crap in my brain to make me go to sleep and just chill and go to sleep. I know I'm not always going to be on that the rest of my life. I'm pretty sure I'm just not going to be taking Ambien the rest of my life. So that means what? That same crap could happen and continue to happen. So if you keep hallucinating, and seeing stuff over and over again, what kind of effects is that going to do on your brain? What's that going to do? I mean, I'm just wondering. So, anyway, with that being said, we're going to move on. I'm about to show you how I set up my machine. Yeah, I should fix my face. I'm going to show you how I set up my machine and like my little setup and everything. Okay, well, y'all saw the machine earlier. Brother, knock this candle over. Alright. So, I just sit it here. Take this up, this black part here. And the black part goes that way. And I get it to focus. Not really, I'm sorry for the lighting, but you get the point. It just snaps right in there. But here's my face mask. And then here's my liner. All it is honestly, it's a piece of t-shirt, but it has to be cotton. And I'm untangling it. Okay. And there's a piece of cotton, and let me see. I want to show you how I do. Alright. So, sit it down like this. Trying to wait for, there we go. And it has a little mark here because it's shaped a certain way. If you can see the mark. Camera's not wanting to focus today. There it is. Alright. Because it goes a certain way. So I mark them all. What I did was basically went online, did some research. Because they actually sell these. So anybody watching, if you paying for them liners, you don't really have to. Get some get a white t-shirt, clean white t-shirt. Look it up online. There's a template. And you can cut it to your size. Mine is actually small because I might look like a whole lot of person. I'm a lot of person, but I'm not that much of a person. So where this face mask goes on my face is actually small. Actually, I think I have an extra small. You plug this in here. And you just push it in there. It's not that difficult. I can do it one-handed, see? It's in there. And that's it. And then this is the cord. I already plugged the other part in because it's a hassle, so I did that ahead of time. Then you plug that in on the side, and that's how my machine looks when it's on. And that's the setup, and that's my info. You don't need to see all that. And this is preheat, so I'm actually about to put some water in a humidifier. But you can preheat it, so say I didn't want to go to bed right now, but I want to go to bed in like 30 minutes. You can turn this on to preheat, but of course I'm not going to turn it on because there's no water in it. But that's for the humidifier. I know it's going in and out of focus. I'm actually going to go to the setup and see if I can change, because that's why we're going to come back to the part of me scratching my nose. So, and this right here is just, this is the data they kind of pull, like show you how much I sleep and all of this stuff. This is what the machine shows you, like how much I sleep and all of this kind of stuff. Like this is my average hours that I sleep. This is my average for like 7 days, and yeah, so on and so forth. But anyway, the point that I'm making is the reason I keep scratching my nose is because my freaking nose is itching, because I need to probably turn up my humidifier, and I can't remember how to do it. But anyway, I'm going to turn up my humidifier. I think I probably just need to turn it on. So y'all going to hear some noise. I'm going to turn it on so I can turn my humidifier up. And see, this is my, if you can hear the air. You should be able to hear the air coming out. That's my air pressure coming out. But I'm going to turn up. That's my tubing. My tubing is fine. I don't really, that's the heat. I'm going to turn up my humidifier. Nope. There we go. We're going to turn up my humidifier. I'm going to just turn it up one notch. And then turn my machine back off. But, yeah. And yeah. Turn my humidifier back off, but I turned it up a notch because the doctor thinks it may be drying my nose out, because I'm like, my nose is itching like constantly all day, so I may need to turn up my humidifier. Alright, so I showed y'all earlier how you open this and that comes open. So I always have my big old jug of distilled water. And I pull this out, pour my water in. Take that to the fill line. Put that back in there, make sure it's in there. Close the top. Boom. Now I know this is a weird angle. Don't worry about it. I'm laying down because I'm about to take that good old nap. I've only slept an hour and a half. And I still had that medicine in my system, so I've been pushing it and I've been fighting sleep. But I wanted to show y'all this. If y'all look in the little corner of this here video and all of my videos, you see my little branding little thing right in the little corner. Like right over there or something. Right over there, something like that. You see a little teddy bear. You might wonder, well, who was that? That's Sunny. This is the real life version of Sunny. Right here. His chain a little messed up right now. But this is the real life version of Sunny. Basically what he represents is living ill. But this is the real life version of him. And he represents living ill, and he's just here for me when I need him. That's what that's about. He can be there for you when you need him. So if you see me with anything on this channel, or you see me on my IG or whatever, and you see him, you know what it is. So he's essentially living ill's mascot. But this is Sunny. He makes things all better, essentially. But with that being said, I didn't show y'all how I put the mask on. Yes, I even have to put this mask on when I take a nap, which is what I'm about to do right now. So sometimes this is what I do. Put the mask on. I put the liner on first. Put it over my nose. Then I grab this here mask. I do like that. I line it up. Then I take this, put it over my head. Make sure it's nice and snug. And I hit that button you saw earlier. And it's on. On that note, y'all, be as ill as you can be. I'm out, y'all. Peace.